Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Self-Care Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to give a few minutes for people to pop on. In the meantime, let me turn down the music. We're on the YouTube jail. I built a Pandora station that I really enjoy. And so I've been kind of, I wouldn't say rocking out to it, but it's been a nice little background to my day so far. If you don't do that for yourself, that is something you may want to consider. We had a nice little chat on Wednesday for the Wisdom. I'm not going to call it a show, but discussion on this channel, and we talked about frequencies, and that is something that I tend to always have in the background of my day. I do a lot of work on the computer, and this having this frequency be in the background of my day just kind of like just makes the whole process better. I don't know how else to put it. I feel more deeply connected to it. I wouldn't say it's effortless, but it sure makes the process, my creative process, much easier. So don't forget to pop on when you pop on to say hello. We are here today to do the Self-Care Sunday, which means that we're going to be drawing a card from the Self-Care Oracle deck. We're going to talk about the suggestion of that card, if there's any barriers around it. And we're going to do a little guided meditation to kind of integrate that into our awareness so that we can be cognitive of opportunities to practice that. So, good morning. How are you today, Carrie? What have you done this week for your self-care practice? Can you think of anything any time where you consciously said, I'm going to take care of myself by doing this? And it could be anything from saying no when you mean no, yes when you mean yes, taking time out for yourself, or even doing things for others. And that's where I feel like sometimes we get tripped up, is that we feel like practicing self-care is a selfish act. But actually, sometimes it's when we are doing for others and in acts of service that we are practicing self-care as well. So I want you guys to kind of erase the whole concept that self-care is selfish, because it's not. No matter what act that you're practicing, what choice you are making around your own self-care, it is not a selfish act. Trust me on that. And we'll talk more about that when we see what card we end up pulling. So if there's anything you want to share, Carrie, I want to hear about it. We learn from each other. Let's see, what kind of self-care act did I do? Well, I went to the doctor. Haven't been to the doctor in like a year. Went there just to kind of check in about a couple of issues, which turned out to be nothing, So that was my self-care practice for last week, along with others. I'm reading you, Carrie. I've taken time to read and listen to books full of positive words and affirmations. Amen, sister. Yes. It's almost like we're in a support group when we do things like that, because even though it may be repetitious, it is that repetition that makes it more integrative in our psyche and our self-awareness. So good for you. I'm glad. Do it as often as you can. Just immerse yourself in that energy, because sometimes that's what we got. That's all we got to help us through the day. You know what I mean? And that is really, I think, for me, the secret of living a good life and being a positive person. Is not that I'm not going to suffer or have hardships and sadness and disappointments, and it's that I know I can traverse through those episodes and maintain my uplifted spirit. That's really for me what that's all about. So good for you, girlfriend. Well, Carrie, it may just be you and me today, so I'm very glad that you're here. If anybody pops on after I've posted this video, please do say hello anyway, because I'm going to want to know that you stopped by, and I want you to know how much I appreciate that. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel, okay? All right, you guys, let's just take a minute here to kind of regroup, and then we're going to go ahead and pick a card and learn all about it. I don't know who Tada is, but welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hello, and so glad that you joined us. So in case you missed it all, we are working out of the Self-Care Oracle deck. We're going to have a little guided meditation around whatever card I end up pulling. So yeah, let me just take a moment to get myself together and call in our assistants. Holy Mother, thank you so much for this day, this Self-Care Sunday with these fine people and anybody else who listens in the future. God, as we just turn our attention to the Self-Care Oracle deck, and we ask that you guide us to just the right card that we can all benefit from and apply to our lives. We call upon our entire spirit teams to join this collective effort. And I open my third eye to receive your messages. All right, y'all. Let's see what the universe has to share with us today. Oopsie. These cards are still kind of new, so they're slippy. Sorry about that, you guys. All righty. Our card today is Make a Meal. Make a meal. Now, this is an interesting card for me, in my opinion, for us to pull. Okay, so first of all, before I share my perspective, what do you guys pull from this card when you're advised by your spirit team to make a meal? What do you think this card means? I'm going to look it up in our book and read the description as well. Keep in mind, we are what we eat, literally. That's not just a little wives' tale or a kind of a, cute little thing to say. I mean, it's literal. The DNA that and the vibration, the frequency, and everything that is in what we eat becomes a part of us, becomes part of our DNA. So, what do you think that means? I'll read you what the book says. The mantra for this card, Make a Meal. I am nourished by food infused with love. I am nourished by food infused with love. When made with love and intention, food has the power to nourish us beyond a physical level. Prepare yourself a beautiful meal that's healthy and delicious, perhaps a favorite from childhood or a dish with seasonal ingredients brought from a market or shop offering organic and local produce. Remain mindful and present throughout the entire process, consciously infusing love and gratitude into the food that you make. Eat it with the same level of presence and appreciation. Whether you are hosting a grand feast with loved ones or a weeknight dinner for one, a simple dish or the most complex cuisine, take pride in knowing that your two hands created it. Your journal prompt, in case you want to journal about this, is: what is your favorite meal from childhood? How can you recreate this meal for yourself and make it equally meaningful and tasty? Gosh, when I think about my favorite meals from childhood, I just go straight to my mother's baking. I mean, that woman could bake. She made homemade donuts, every pie, cobbler cake you can imagine. I mean, really, she was a great baker. And to this day, it's my weakness, baked goods. Yes, I will give up everything for a donut. Anywho, a little something about me. Right, Carrie? This is what I'm talking about. And I also want to let you guys know that when you prepare a meal for yourself and you're infusing it with love and appreciation, you are blessing that food and you are now ingesting that blessing. That cycle of energy is so profound. It's so profound. It's one of the reasons I do not eat prepared food. I don't. I just really don't. I try to avoid canned food. I might be frozen because sometimes frozen is fresher than fresh. But yeah, other than that, I eat whole foods. It matters to me what I am bringing into my body, and I don't want to politicize this or anything or say one diet is better than the other or any of that. I'm saying that when we ingest food, it is best that we bless it with love and appreciation, gratitude, and it doesn't have to be something fancy. It could be a simple can of soup or it could be anything, anything. If you go to a fast food place to eat, and sometimes I do, okay? If you go to a fast food place to eat, bless that food, bless the hands that prepared it, all of that. Make it a ritual. Eat it slowly, appreciating every bit of energy that went into that food, whether it be plant life, animal life, the hands that prepared it, everything must be blessed so that our body receives a blessing to nourish us, to nourish us. That is what this card means to me. It's more than just, take the day out to do a meal. The meal prep is very, very important, trust me, because it helps keep us organized. It makes us more conscious of what we're ingesting and all of that. I'm all about the meal prep. My meal prep is on Mondays and I bust it out, okay, for the whole week. So I get you on that, Carrie. Meal prep is super important. And now that you're planning on doing that, go a little further and just infuse every little bit of it with a blessing. It doesn't have to be elaborate. A simple thank you. Noticing the tomato, the carrot, the chicken, the rice, the whatever, and noticing it for what it is, an energy source, a life source, something that is going to keep us alive. And I also just want to turn to the creative aspect of it. If you're ever feeling blocked in your life, like not creative, like you can't sort through things and figure out a resolution to a problem or manifest the income you want or whatever that is for you. If you're feeling uncreative, okay, create something. Just go create something. And preparing a meal in a conscious manner is one of the most creative things you could do. Meal, make a meal. So if you would care to, let us just take a moment to integrate the teaching of this card, love, appreciation, and preparing, just preparing in general, and from a place of gratitude. So if you would like, just go ahead and close your eyes for a moment. I have not prepared this guided meditation. I'm just going to let it flow from our collective spirit guides, and we're just going to take a step into our creativity and our connection with the food that we eat. So just take a deep breath, let it fill you, and then flow out of you effortlessly without thought. Let your body just do its rhythmic thing of inhaling and exhaling. The cycle is all this time, receiving and releasing, letting your breath flow. And using your inner awareness, bring yourself to that place you call your kitchen. Could look like anywhere. It could be an outdoor kitchen, indoor kitchen, that place where you call kitchen. Take note of the refrigerator that keeps your food cool, even if it is a camp cooler that you've put under a shady tree. It keeps your food fresh and cool. And allow yourself to wander to the stove, which allows you to prepare food so that your body can easily digest it and feed the cells that keep you alive. Give thanks for those two pieces of kitchen equipment that make preparing a meal so much easier and healthier. Now see yourself preparing your favorite dish from childhood. What was it? Was it something that a relative made? Was it something that you just remember eating as a child in a restaurant? What was that dish that made you feel comforted and full and vitalized? What was that food? See yourself preparing it again. You have all the equipment you need. You have all of the ingredients you need. And though you may not know that recipe by scratch, watch your hands create it anyway. Feel that food. Smell it. Allow yourself to go back in time and enjoy that food again. And while you eat this food and enjoy it, give thanks to every ingredient, to every farmer's hand that touched it, everyone who packaged it, everyone who prepared it in any way. Give thanks. When you're ready, just bring yourself back to this place and time. And if anybody wants to share anything about that experience, the being able to visualize that food and to visualize yourself preparing it again, please do share. I love hearing what your experiences are, especially with meditation. Keep in mind that when we are visualizing something, we literally are seeing it with our inner vision, that brow chakra that sees everything in crystal clarity. And what we see becomes. This is what that whole phrase is about, how you're always taught to visualize it, see it, and all that kind of stuff. That is why. Because what we see with this eye, with our third eye, that is what we can manifest into the physical. All right? So just keep that in mind, that when you go into your physical kitchen to prepare this dish from your childhood, take a moment to visualize it again so that you can really connect with it and bring it into the physical in real life. Homemade cookies. Baked goods, what I tell you, are my weakness. I love them. I'll take it over a French fry, and you guys, you know, I love French fries. Anyway, I want to tell you that it's interesting that this card is coming up because it came to me earlier this week when I was preparing. After last Wednesday's Wellness Wisdom, I was immediately given a suggestion for the next one. In just a moment, I want to read this comment. Oh, that's so sweet, Carrie, right? That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I didn't really get to cook with my mom. She passed away when I was 9, and she really didn't do too much cooking in the last year or two of her life. But I did a lot of cooking with my grandmother, bless her heart. My goodness, I learned how to cook from that woman. But mostly she taught me how to use my imagination in the kitchen. She taught me what a palette was, you know what I mean? But not like, this is what a flavor palette's all about. She didn't go that route. She was like, why don't you make the salad dressing? And just allowed me to experiment. So that's good. I'm glad that you have that memory, Carrie. But yeah, when I was meditating the next day after last Wednesday's wellness wisdom, it came to me that I needed to talk about how we can love our liver. Okay. And I don't mean love eating liver. I mean loving our liver, the liver that is in our body. As the wheel of life turns and we start heading into spring, this is the time that we need to consider detoxing from our winter diet, okay? And really kind of like get ourselves geared up for being a more highly energetic person so that in springtime we can spring forth full of vitality and good health. So not only am I going to be giving you suggestions on how to do that for your physical liver, but we're going to be talking about the metaphysical ramifications of a toxified liver and how you can energetically clear your liver and keep it that way. So there's going to be a lot to talk about, and we always meet on the first Wednesday of the month for our wellness wisdom, and this time it's going to be about love your liver. And I will be posting the details of that presentation shortly after this. And so if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe so that you know when it comes up. And you can always also set an alert for it so you don't miss it when I do go live. So these are presented live, and I present most of my teachings live because I want your interaction. I want you to share and ask questions and participate in this because this is all for you guys, really. So I want you to be happy and healthy. And I think this is going to help you. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a healthcare professional. What I am going to be sharing with you is what I have practiced for myself, okay? Really. This is what I do for myself, and I want to share it with you, okay? And you can take it as, as truth for yourself or disregard it, whatever you feel is best for you. I'm always going to advocate you do whatever is best for you. And if you have any questions about any of it, run it past your clinician. Talk to your doctor about it, especially if you have a chronic health condition or something going on with you that I don't want to be making suggestions that are contradictory to that care that you're already getting, okay? So, but this is something, especially the metaphysical part of it, that you can practice safely, for real. And I think that you're gonna learn a few things, okay? And I think that this year has really kind of set us up for having toxic livers. And we're gonna talk about how to take care of all that. And I'm kind of like right this moment just being guided to also offer a little meditation. Something very brief, similar to what we just did. Very, very brief, okay? But anyways, so I hope to see you there the first Wednesday of every month at 6:30 right here on this channel. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about? We're coming up on our 30-minute mark. I do want to draw your attention to a couple of links I'm going to put in there. I'm going to link back to our frequency playlist so that you guys can explore the frequencies that we discussed last week, Wednesday. And if you haven't seen that video, please do. Please, I just posted it last Wednesday evening. Go and look at that video. It has a lot of information about how to work with frequencies to fix a few things you might want to consider fixing. And also, I wanted to remind everybody that the 2021 Divine Feminine Shamanic Retreat is in full swing. I've already completed the entire itinerary for our first day. We're going to jump right in to a shamanic journey on that first day because we want to invite bear energy to the entire weekend, not halfway through the weekend. We're going to start off with that bear energy right away. And I'm so excited about the way this is turning out, you guys. This is going to be so fun and perfect alignment with our intention to practice self-care as a sacred act. Speaking of which, I hope to be announcing soon that I'm going to be interviewed on the 24th of this month by Spiritual Business channel, and we are our Spiritual Business Radio, and we are going to be talking about that retreat. We're going to be talking about self-care as a sacred act and how vital that is to not just our spiritual self, but to the whole mind, body, spirit connection. So we're going to be talking about that. I'm excited that I have this opportunity to share it. And so you'll learn more about what we will be exploring and energetically calling to ourselves during the retreat. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. I hope to have those dates by the next time we meet. So the date and time. She promised me a link, so I might just do a quick little live to introduce all that. So yeah, make sure you're a subscriber so you don't miss any of it. So anywho, if there is nothing else, I wish you guys a glorious, glorious Sunday. Get out there and make it the best day ever. And make yourself a meal. Make yourself a meal with whatever you have. Be grateful for every little ingredient of it. And just ingest that love and be blessed. Be blessed. I love you guys. See you next time.